Why is it that a new leader brought into an organization with such great promise slowly appears to be looking not so promising after the first couple of years? Why is it that the sheen seems to wear out? Why is it that the leader finds himself or herself running out of arrows in their quiver? This is a subject that hasn't received as much attention and discussion. I'm sure you've experienced leaders who are brought into organizations with significant expectations that they will bring in transformation, change, solve some of the vexed problems, lead the organization into growth, and so on and so forth. The first couple of years are actually outstanding. The leader seems to shine. The leader seems to be speaking a language that others are not speaking. The leader seems to be able to quickly engage in and solve some problems which haven't been solved, or bring an expertise that the organization lacked, perhaps deal with some low-hanging fruits, perhaps give relief that finally we have someone to take care of these issues which no one could take care of. The organization also ends up ascribing a lot of authority and stature to that person in the hope that a great future lies ahead. So thanks to this authority and influence that the person has, some specific skills and abilities that the person quickly accesses, and some low-hanging fruits that are there for the person to pluck. The first couple of years are very promising. Many things get done. There is still a certain amount of sheen. There are still arrows that the leader can access and fire. Around the third year, things slowly seem to be plateauing. People are now beginning to ask questions about the fact that the leader is not solving some of the larger problems that we assumed he or she would solve. That the leader solved problems but didn't build processes, didn't build an organization. Or the early success has come at a certain price, that relationships are frayed, people are not being taken along, and so on and so forth. By the third year, the leader begins to realize that he or she has run out of arrows, or the arrows they have are no longer able to deal with the issues that the organization is confronting or the leader is confronting. The early promise seems to be somewhat unfulfilled. Why does this happen? Central to this is the fact that when a leader comes into an organization, it's not his or her individual abilities and past successes and past playbooks which are of enduring value to the organization. It may provide some early relief, but it is assumed that the leader would combine that with the resources of the organization, integrate it into the culture, institutionalize things, build a larger ecosystem, build those relationships, and generate that multiplier effect. It is also assumed that the leader would not stop learning, that the leader would continue to learn new abilities, acquire new arrows that he or she can deploy to solve new and unforeseen problems that the organization is going to face. This calls for less doing and greater being. This calls for not just action, but also reflection. Leaders who are constantly inclined to plunge into action may not find the time for reflection, may not find the time for thinking about how I need to evolve, what are the new ways in which I need to operate, having delivered the early success, having shown the hope, having solved some fixed problems. How do I prepare myself for a solid, sustainable career for the future? This is where a lot of our coaches are able to do great work when organizations recognize that leaders need support to build a sustainable career, not exhaust the arrows that they already have, but actually build new ones, build new muscles, learn constantly, and most importantly, spend time in reflection.
Audio Jungle.